Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking a style archetype that feels a little bit old world, but is actually surprisingly relevant.
We're talking Rakish style.
We are, and I'll be honest, before digging into the article we're discussing, I just thought that was code for, looking like a messy rock star.
That's the common mistake. It's so easy to
Yeah.
dismiss it, but the article gives it this fantastic definition.
Which is?
Controlled chaos.
Yeah.
And that right there, that changes everything. It's less about being messy and more about being a very specific psychological signal.
Controlled chaos. I love that. It clicks when you see the examples they lay out. You've got Johnny Depp with all the layers and scarves.
Or Harry Styles in that really flamboyant tailoring.
Yeah, or even Neymar with the bold streetwear. It looks thrown together, but when you look closer, you see this tension.
That tension is the whole point. It's intentional rebellion.
Intentional rebellion. So nothing is actually random.
Nothing. Every pattern clash, every single ring on their finger, that deep V-neck, it's all calculated. It's meant to communicate that you know the rules so well that you can break them with taste.
So it's a signal of social daring. And this is where the article really grabbed me, because it moves from fashion into, well, actual science.
The H3 charisma study.
Exactly. And it completely flips this idea that you have to dress conservatively to be taken seriously.
It really does. The study looked at what researchers call deviant clothing. Now, that sounds intense, but it just means clothing that deviates from the expected norm for a situation.
So not illegal, just unexpected.
Right. And the findings were that people who wear this stuff are consistently rated as more charismatic, more dominant, even more competent.
Because it signals confidence, right? If I walk into a meeting wearing, I don't know, a velvet jacket, the subconscious message is, I don't need your permission to be myself.
It signals risk tolerance. That's the key. If you're willing to take a social risk with your appearance, people just assume you're confident enough to take risks in other areas, like business or creative thinking. It implies you have high status.
Okay, but we have to talk about the flip side, which the article warns about pretty heavily. The costume trap.
Oh yeah, the danger zone.
There's a very, very fine line between looking rakish and looking like you're auditioning for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to understand that this is a spectrum. It is not an all-or-nothing deal. You don't have to go full chaos.
Full chaos being like Machine Gun Kelly or an 80s glam band.
Yeah, with the eyeliner, the clashing patterns, the whole 9 yards.
The article pointed to a more subtle end of that spectrum, which felt way more approachable. They mentioned guys like Idris Elba or Lenny Kravitz.
That's the perfect example. They aren't wearing costumes. It's sharp tailoring, maybe all black leather, but with these bold textures. It's distinctive, but it isn't screaming at you.
And that balance seems to change depending on where you are.
It does. The article points out that the U.S. is generally more cautious, Europe embraces more flair, and a place like Brazil just thrives on color.
So for anyone listening who wants to try this without, looking crazy, what's the move?
It comes down to what they call the interchangeable wardrobe philosophy. You have to anchor the wildness with structure.
Okay, so if I wear a really loud patterned shirt,
You pair it with incredibly sharp, well-tailored trousers or a classic jacket. It's about balance.
and the accessories, they listed a few essentials.
For sure. Things like signet rings or pinky rings, heeled boots, statement eyewear. They're small items, but they act as that deviant signal we were talking about. They add the edge.
It sounds like the most important ingredient, though, isn't something you can buy. The article made a huge point about identity clarity.
It has to be you, just amplified. This style totally fails if it's a disguise. The personality that pulls this off is usually novelty-seeking, emotionally expressive.
Someone who is comfortable standing out.
Exactly. If you're someone who hates being the center of attention, this is going to feel awful and look inauthentic. It has to come from inside.
So it really all comes down to your intention. Are you getting dressed for social approval?
Or are you dressing to express who you actually are? We're always communicating something with our clothes. The rake just chooses to communicate freedom from conformity.
We'll leave you with that thought. Next time you get dressed, take a look in the mirror and just ask yourself if you're playing it safe or if you're actually showing up as yourself.
And if you choose to show up as yourself, maybe it's finally time to look into those statement rings.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.